Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to my channel. Gosh, I know it's been a hot minute since I have filmed. I have missed you guys so much. Hopefully I can get back on a regular schedule here. I am getting a new phone. I think that's going to help out a lot. Yeah, so today's tutorial is on this eyeshadow look right here. It's a very blown out. It's that extended crease effect. We are lifting everything up with eyeshadow. We did a Foxy wing and it's very Kylie. It's very Harush. It's just very blown out. So it's not exactly, the tutorial today is not exactly on, one specific palette. I did dip into the new Morphe holiday palette. I've gotten a few other new things that I just kind of wanted to play in some makeup today. I just kind of wanted to sit down and film this look for you guys because I've been posting this a lot on Instagram. I'm going to insert a couple of pictures over here so you guys can see. Yeah, but it's just I love how it looks. It's literally one of my favorite eyeshadow looks that I have ever done. And I've been doing this a lot lately, kind of on Instagram. So I really wanted to get a tutorial up. So I would suggest that you guys, and I kind of followed that same 5-minute eyeshadow plug and play template that I really detailed in my last tutorial, the one with the Jeffree Star nude palette. So if you guys have not seen that tutorial, check that out because it's very detailed and it goes through everything about creating a fake crease, creating that, that faux lid, how we kind of create that extra lid space, and just kind of how we map everything out. So if you haven't checked that out, kind of watch that as a precursor to this. It'll kind of, everything that I'm doing today will just kind of make sense because I kind of followed that same plug and play template today. So all right, that's it. I just want to keep this short. If you guys are new, thank you for clicking on. Welcome to the video and to my channel. I'm Lauren Jade. I'm 58. I have mature, crepey, wrinkly skin, hooded eyes that are slightly downturned, and trust me when I say the struggle is real. So I'm always looking for ways to pass my tips and tricks on to you guys so you guys can rock your hooded eye situation in your mature, crepey, wrinkly skin, which is what I have. And that's it. Just gonna keep this short. And yeah, if you guys want to see how I created this look, then just keep on watching and let's just roll right into this video. Blinged brushes right here. We're going to be using these today. So much newness over here. I've gotten so many new things. Today I just kind of want to play in makeup and I want to show you guys this really fun kind of foxy eye technique that I have been playing with. I've been posting a lot on Instagram. I'm going to insert a couple of pictures here while I go ahead and prime my eyes so you can kind of see what we're going to be doing today. It's one of my favorite looks I think I've ever done. So we're just going to kind of dip around. I'm just going to be, dipping in this and this and this because I just want to play in some new makeup and just show you guys this technique because I love it. It is very Kylie, it's very Harush, it's very KKW. I mean, it is just blowing out and just, so the brows play a huge part because as we know, a lot of eyeshadow looks kind of follow, the alignment of the brow. So it's very, the brow is kind of out. Mine, I have kind of an arch and then I like it to kind of come down. So I'm trying to make them more out, so I kind of pull a little up and out just to kind of get that alignment going whoosh towards the temple. So I'm going to start by framing out and sculpting out the eyeshadow shape. I always start with this and I always finish with this. I'm just going to grab this light kind of a white bone shade and I'm going to go right underneath my brow, like under the arch, and I'm going to go right onto the brow bone. This is what's going to shape out the eyeshadow look. I start with this as a guide and I finish with this just to kind of shape it out because a lot of times once you get in there and do your blending, it just kind of, the color kind of dissipates. I mean, it is what it is. You always have to go back in, re-intensify, sharpen the colors back up. So I'm going to go ahead and carve out this brow situation here. Going to get it nice and whoosh. And then I'm keeping it really light up towards like closest to the brow. And then I'm kind of dragging it down so that the edges of like the transition shade and the other colors that I use will kind of buff up into this area here. And it'll just be nice and light and airy. And you'll kind of have that nice gradient fade of color going upwards. Because wherever there's shade and, wherever there's light, there's shade. So they work together is what I'm trying to say. So we've got the light, and now we are going to put in the contour. And I'm going to grab this palette right over here. I just got this one. I love this one. I'm going to use this brush here, this little small little blender. This is the Belgian Waffle from BH Cosmetics. I'm going to take this shade right here because it's nice and warm. I'm just going to tap in this contour pretty much right underneath where I placed my brow bone highlight. Just going to kind of tap that in. I want it to be really nice and light. And just kind of by tapping, it's already kind of doing the blending for me. So I'm just going to tap this in here. Kind of tap in that contour, get it right underneath there. And then I'm going to kind of drag a little bit into the front. But I'm going to switch brushes here. I'm going to grab this brush right here. And I'm just going to swirl this inner socket right here, as I always do. And I'm going to push this up towards the brow. Just kind of give me that nice inner corner shading. It just gives such a nice sultry fade to the look. And I really, really like that. So I'm just going to swirl this up here as always. And then I'm going to grab a blending brush, an e.l.f. brush, and just grab a little bit more and just kind of work the outer section right here. Just to kind of add a little bit more depth and dimension here to this kind of nice little light shadow crease. And I'm going to flick this out towards the temple. Everything is going out, up and out. And just gonna messily apply this. There's really no you know, rhyme to this. It's just very messy and just kind of blowing out. Everything is going out this way. So nice little bronzy base. I'm going to go into the Minimalist palette. It's going to be kind of a little back and forth. I'm going to be kind of dipping around a little bit like I was saying, just because I want to use a lot of this stuff. So I love this palette. This is the new Minimalist. I'm going to grab this shade right here. I think this is the, actually, you know what? I take it back. I'm going to grab that on this little small little round blender here on my, this is the blinged brushes. I'm going to take that shade and I'm going to kind of do the exact same thing that I did with that bronzer. I'm going to just kind of tap it in right underneath where I put, you can see it's giving me a nice little depth there. It's just kind of adding a little bit more depth and dimension, and that's kind of what I want. So I'm just going right on top of like that bronzer just to kind of deepen it up a little bit and give it a little bit more depth. I'm going to flick this out here, and then I'm going to just kind of move that color kind of out this way. All right, so I thought the phone was on and I was recording, and here I just talked for, and the phone wasn't even on. So let me go ahead and repeat what I just, right underneath the lashes. I'm going to go right up along the edges and I'm going to sweep this up. You want to think about the same alignment, right, as you would be like with your brow. Like you would line it up with this. This would be the start. This goes through like the center pupil right here, and that's kind of like right where, you know, your arch would be if you do have an arch, if you're not doing like the straight brow. And then of course the tail of the brow is going to line up with the edge of the eye and the edge of the nostril right here. So this is kind of that same alignment that we're going to be following. You want to tap off your color. I use an M433. I'm going to kind of create a shadow. We're going to start this whole process. And by the way, I am using these shadow shields. I've done this method using tape, a business card, the edge of a Benefit Pore Minimizer. I mean, I've done it with every single thing you can think of. And so whatever works for you, feel free to use it. I'm going to go back into the Belgian Waffle palette. I'm going to grab the same shade that I used on this M433. I'm going to work this outer part right here. I'm going to start out here, this outer part here, the lid. And I want most of the color to be here, and then I want it to kind of go whoosh upwards as sort of to create like a soft shadow effect. So I'm going to start here, and then it's all in the flick of the wrist. I'm just going to flick this up. I'm putting most of the pressure here, and then as I get out here, it's just going to be a lighter pressure. And I'm just going to blow this out towards the temple. So we're just kind of creating lift using eyeshadow. So I'm going to grab a little bit more, tap off here. All right, so now we're going to go into the new Morphe Holiday Palette, the 35XO, which looks like this. And this shade right here, we're definitely going to play in. I haven't been excited about a shade like this one since ColourPop Sidetracked. I love this shade, so we're definitely going to go in. I'm going to deepen up the crease a little bit with that shade, but I'm going to wait until we're all done with this wing situation so I can kind of see how it all plays out and just kind of decide on the intensity, you know, how much I want to put in. So I'm going to grab this shade right here, this little brown one right here. Just going to kind of deepen up our little Foxy wing. I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm just going to tap closest to the lash line right here on this outer corner right here, because that's where I want the majority of this color. And then I'm going to whoosh out here so that what is out here, this wing, this shadow, soft shadow, isn't going to be as intense out here as it is like closest to the lashes right over here. And already you can start to see lift. You can start to see that everything is going up and out. Whoosh. This look is a very Harush. It's a very blown out. It's a very Kylie, as I've said. I'm going to tap, tap, tap. And then we are going to whoosh. And I like these shadow shields because they not only act to prevent fallout, but you can literally be as messy and as free as you want and just really get that blown out effect. And these things are just going to, you know, catch everything, and it's just going to give you that nice, perfect shape all the time. So yes, I like using something here. All right, so I grabbed a little bit of this shade and mixed it in with a little bit of this. And that is what I'm using for my inner half right here on my lid. So it's almost like with this little Foxy thing, it's almost like your eyes are kind of divided into sections, right? So this part is a little bit thicker out here, and that is just like a signature thing for me. That's how I do my wings anyway. It's always thicker on this outer corner and thinner as I get towards the inner portion, because my eyes are downturned. So when you do it like that, it just lifts this outer part right here and makes it seem like it's not so downturned. It's just kind of an illusion thing. This is an angled liner brush in case I didn't mention that. Now I'm going to switch to a flat definer brush, and I'm just going to go into this burgundy shade, and I'm going to work out here. I'm going to stamp this in closest to the roots of the lashes because this is where I want this depth right out here. Just going to stamp that in and wiggle, stamp and wiggle. As always, you guys know the drill. I do this literally in every single tutorial. So we're going to just stamp out here, making it a little bit thicker on this little outer section right here. This is an angled liner brush, and I'm going to take a little bit of this black and grab a little bit of this burgundy. So I'm going to kind of mix the two to kind of create a little custom shade. We're going to tap that up. And as always, what I like to do, we're going to do like a baby wing. So it's going to be a wing within a wing. We'll do a little baby wing. This is going to be like a little wing that's going to stop like right in this area here. It's not going to be blowing out. So to get that party started, I like to start at my lower lash line, like right on my waterline, and just kind of go follow that alignment going up and just kind of get that little flick. You know, I just like to get that started. And then what I do is I'm going to go and grab a little bit more, the two shades mixed together, and I'm just going to stamp right next to that line. So I do that first one to get the alignment going up. And because my eyes are slightly downturned, I like for my wingtip and the wing to actually be like not like to the end right here, but like a couple millimeters above. So I'm just going to stamp right next to that line. I just use that first one for alignments. I'm going to stamp right next to it, and then I'm going to start connecting it over a little bit at a time. So I'm going to start at the base and just drag it over. It just gives such a really nice wing. If you have really tight skin and you're like 22, I feel like you can just kind of draw that line and then draw that line back in. But with mature, crepey, wrinkly skin, this is just a method that really seems to work better. I'm going to stamp, and then I'm going to start to, I start at the base and then just start to drag it over. You just get a nicer, more precise wing that way. I'm going to grab a little bit more and just deepen that up out there. All right, I've gone back into the M433 brush and I'm just kind of smoking everything together over here, just marrying everything, making sure that everybody is all happy and cohesive, and we've got a nice smoky blend. You can start to see this lift happening now. All right, I'm gonna go back into the Profusion Conceal palette. Over here, I'm gonna grab this P. Louise brush, and I'm going to map out my lid space. I'm going to just kind of tap in this concealer. I'm going right up into the socket of the eye. We are right in the hollow of the eye. And I am cheating my lid space. I'm catfishing. I am taking this up higher because I want to give myself larger lid space here. And just getting that nice and bright in here. Take a little bit on the inner corner. Just kind of tapping this in. And then once I get that going, I'm going to kind of go back. I kind of want to do an all matte look with just a little bit of shimmer today. So I'm going to take this shade right here, this nice peachy pink shade, and just kind of tap in this color right on top. I'm really liking this pinky peach color, so that's what I'm going to do today. I may do a little bit of shimmer on the inner corner, but I kind of wanted to do this. Go back to that e.l.f. brush, that big fluffy blender, and just really get that going out that way. Stretch now. We're almost done. I'm going to go back to this really light shade right here from my Okalon palette. This is a Kylie dupe. This is from the old Shop Hush days. God, I miss them. Don't get me started on how much I miss my Bad Habit and my Shop Hush days. All right, I'm going to, like I said, the brow bone color is what shapes and crafts and creates the overall shape of the look. So we started with this, and like I said, I'm going to finish with this step. I'm going to go right underneath the arch of the brow and just kind of shape out the look. I'm going to drag in a little bit. We're going to really kind of sculpt out this brow again. And then I'm going to take the edges right here, and I'm just going to smooth the edges out and just kind of buff them up into that so that I have that nice gradient fade of color. I am buffing this color up towards the brow and out towards the temple. All right, I think for the finishing touches, I'm just going to put a tiny bit of this concealer right into this inner corner right here, because I'm going to add, I think, just a tiny bit of shimmer. I wanted to kind of keep this all matte, but I kind of want to use a shimmer, I think. I always do some kind of inner corner shimmer. Even if I do like an all matte look, it's just like what I like to do. I'm going to take this shade right here, mix it with a little bit of this one, just to give me that nice champagne snow color. Oh, so pretty. Just that little bit, just like boom, like, yeah, boom, boom. All right, I like this. And I'm gonna just kind of leave it right here. I'm not going to, I did this look the other day, and I did, I think I did the glitter. Yeah, I used this glitter shade, but today we're just going to keep it just like this because I like this. I don't want to mess with this. I love what's kind of happening right in through here, and I love how blown out it is and just how out that way it is, and I just want to leave this as is. All right. Now we are going to, we're going to remove our little shadow shields here, and we're going to kind of clean up. Here we are. It's really nice. Now I am going to take a tiny bit of this concealer, and I'm going to just use my finger, I guess. I don't have my brush right here. And just kind of put a little bit of this right in through here. Kind of tap that in there. You can go back and touch up your foundation. I don't feel like... Sorry, I had to grab this brush right here. So I'm using the CC powder, and I'm just going right underneath here and just cleaning up right underneath. And you can see just how lifted this whole thing is. It just lifts the eye. It looks nice and big and bright and just whoosh, very out there. So yeah, I absolutely love this technique. All right, I'm gonna spray the face real quick. That completes the look. I absolutely love how this came out. You guys know that I love that blowing out, that extended crease effect, and you can just see how much lift it adds because you are kind of creating that little shadow on the side. So yeah, absolutely love it. This is literally one of my favorite eyeshadow shapes of all time. So yes, we will be doing this again. I did get this palette too. This is another new one, the new Huda palette. So yeah, we probably will be doing this palette next. So okay, that's it, you guys. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, and I will see you all in my next one.